What up, Hillman family? We're excited to come back with episode 8. Ray, how was your week?
Been a good week, real busy week. You know what I mean? Sometimes work does that. But
Mhm.
work hard. This weekend I played hard.
Right.
Um Went to an event, you know what I mean? Shout out to the people that did the event for it was the adult playground. It was downtown Atlanta. It was actually pretty dope, nice vibe. I'm definitely gonna go back. I thought it was
What?
good. It was a good time. I mean, DJ was on it. DJ
Was
was
he? That's what's
yeah,
up.
yeah, DJ, yeah, most deaf.
So the last time we talked, we were talking about the possibility of me having a legacy. So
Wait,
it's
wait,
official, huh?
wait, before you wait.
Yes.
How was your before we
Thank
get into that? How was your week?
you. My
Right? You
week.
about to throw this up. I don't even know how your week was.
That's
Man.
my week. That's it. My baby is no longer online and neither am I.
After that
That was
is
my
something
week.
else.
That was
Like I
it.
just
That
been
was it, you
focusing.
know?
All right, let me
Um,
have it. All
She's
right,
over.
what's
My
up?
baby is officially a member of the dynamic, the devastating, the illustrious Social Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh. So last time we talked, we talked about homecoming and legacies, and it's official. My baby is a member of the ST, and I could not be more excited. This is my last full week in Georgia, and I got to see my baby, coming to welcome her to Delta Land. So that's the highlight of my week. I have no words for anything else. Nothing can get me down. I'm hyped.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. I do want to say, man, it was a good probate, man, even though we was waiting on the we had the weather situation and they kind of ended it a little early, kind of pushed
Abruptly.
everybody out. But before that, I thought it was the energy was dope. You know what I mean? Shout out to her line. They was real it was a movie, so it was dope. Yeah, yeah, definitely shout out. You know what I mean? 25, spring 25, out there in West Georgia. So that's yeah, it
I'm
was definitely a
excited.
good.
I'm excited for her. Very, very proud of her and her 24 line sisters. I mean, they, I feel like they're going to do great things in the community. I think they have good leaderships and, things coming to them. So I'm excited for them. That's my week.
Yeah, no doubt.
Uh,
That's what it is.
let's get into this
Um,
though. Episode 8. Episode 8. This is the episode where Denise joins the track team unexpectedly too, which was surprising to me. I want to ask you about that. But she was just in gym class and the coach was like, let's join the team. I didn't think anything could be that easy, but she joined and she was putting in the work, you know? Can you think of, something like that where you had to like step out your comfort zone and do something?
um, Stepping out of my comfort zone. I want to say, for a while, public speaking. Like I was not a person in the beginning. Like I wasn't an MC. I was like I took it was what was the class? The fundamentals of speech, right? And I learned how to do certain things. And the more I became a leader in certain roles, I realized that I had to be able to speak. I had to be able to speak to crowds. I had to be able to demand the room and things to that extent. And it worked out. It definitely worked out. I'm naturally an extrovert. Like I love people. I love to socialize and things like that. But there's a difference between socializing in a room
Mhm.
and speak into a room where all the attention is on you. Like it's real different. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely I want to say that's probably one of the biggest things, becoming a drum major, having to speak to the whole band versus being that band member makes a big difference. You know what I mean?
Have you ever done like a
So
keynote or anything?
no, believe it or not, drum major prepared me to be a manager. It prepared me to be a teacher. It prepared me now in my role, my current career and things to that extent, because I have to throw huddles every day. So I
Hmm.
have to speak to the team. I have to make sure that the attention is heard, not them just looking at me and staring through me, but they actually listening to what I'm saying. and things to that extent. So, did you
I'm
know
thinking,
that
go
people have
ahead.
triggers? Do you have triggers when you speak? Do you say like a lot, or you know what I'm saying
Try
a
not
lot?
to.
Like, is there?
I try not
I
to.
take when I do it. When I think I'm about to do it, I take deep breaths and I try to get past it.
When I think I'm
Yeah.
talking too fast, I'll try to breathe through it. My goal this year is to have 4 public speaking engagements. I don't know if I ever told you that, but I'm trying to
Hmm.
really work on my public speaking. I've done so far, I've done two. I've done two public speaking gigs this year. I actually have been a keynote one time. I was a keynote at a graduation once last year, this boot camp graduation. It was on Zoom, but I did a whole speech. Someone read my bio and did the whole pizzazz, you know. And some leadership I'm
That's
looking
dope.
forward to requires it. Huh?
I said that's dope.
Thank you. I
That,
mean, they
like the
were really
whole
impressed.
introduction. Like I think when they start introducing, I would get more and more nervous. You know, I'm like, here it goes. The Nikki Nick. You like, here we go. Let's get it.
I mean, that wasn't the first time I've been introduced. So it wasn't as startling. I was a Delta Authors on tour back in like 2 years ago, 2022.
Okay.
And they had to do the whole thing and it was a big deal.
I think I want to I went to Colors R&B only joint, right?
Hmm.
And shout out to Colors. It was a dope party. I would love to be a host of a party that big. Like I would love to
Big is
MC
it?
like something that huge. Like it was like people, the balconies was filled, the bottom floor was filled. They had one host, one DJ. Like I think me and DJ Crack Baby, if we went and kind of just did that, like I think that would be the high. Like we do it all the time in Reverb. You know what I mean? Shout out to Reverb. You know, during the Falcons home games, we be on it. We be doing it, you know, but it's not filling an arena. Like I want to fill the arena. I want to hear the crowd. I want to feel the crowd. I want to be hyped up. Like, let's get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the goal. That's the dream. That's the goal.
That's the
Hit the
dream.
lotto, party, hyped up. Get it.
That's what's up.
One
So you're
month.
gonna do all the home games?
Typically we're at Reverb after all the Falcons home games.
Okay. That's what's up.
And that's a thing. We be in there. We be partying and turn up. Come turn up with us. You know what I mean? Come take some pictures, take some photos. Let's Hillman rewind that thing at
Let's
Reverb. You
do
know what I
it.
mean?
Let's make that real big. I'm here for
Right.
that for sure. I
Yeah,
don't feel
come
like
out.
I did that in undergrad. I wasn't stepping out of my comfort zone, but as an adult, I'm like trying to do that type of situation. What I did have to do was balance, my academics with all my responsibilities.
Word. Like, but I feel like they're one and the same, right? I feel like the same effort gets put into both. Kind of like with Denise, right? Denise had the pressure of her
Right.
family's legacy of being track people, and she had to also keep her academics up, right? So that pressure of both, like I have to make sure that my parents are proud of me, not only so I can run, but so that I can make sure that my academics is balanced as well.
And she's the
But you
third
know
generation,
what?
too. So you can't forget
You
that.
said it again.
She's a third generation track person. Remember her dad and her
Yes,
grandfather
she's a
both ran.
third, right. So that's what I'm saying. That pressure of being like holding it up as a Huxtable runner, right?
Right.
But also holding up being a Huxtable with good grades.
Hmm.
You know, like I'm flourishing. I'm still making sure my grades are on point. But that just what I did like through all of it, through all of the pressure, right? She wasn't a fast runner, right? They talked about how she was like flopping her arms and all that stuff like that. But her friends, that pressure is less when your friends got your back, right? Like the friends was shouting out like sixth place or something like that. Like she was like not even close to being in
To be an
first. But they
untrained
was
runner,
the little engine, right? They was like engine,
I love
right?
it. Yes.
Like shout out the friendships that make the pressure less, right? That's why I look at it like that.
Yes, a
Shout
really
out to the friends that make like for you to be nervous and for them to be like, yo, you got this. Like I'm here
Mhm.
with you. Like to be able to see your friends have your back like that and not waiting for you to fumble. It's
Yeah.
like you're looking at them through the whole speech. You looking at them through the whole event because their energy is your energy and they cheering you on like, let's get it. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
shout out to that. Good
Oh, that's a good
friendships, yo.
nugget. That's oh my God. That was a really good point. I didn't even realize that. But like your friends can pull you through. This research I just finished,
Right.
they pull you through.
You know how bad I would feel getting in sixth place? You know what I mean? But for your people back in the day, it was that support system. They
I mean,
was
they
like,
took her
and
all the way
Jen,
back to her
and Jen,
dorm.
and Jen. She was in that thing like, and then the coach was even like, look, now it's time to really train you because your arms be flopping like crazy. I got to teach you how to be a real runner, right? So he established that like you're not good, but you have the potential to be good, right? And the friends were still hyping you up. The friends laughed with you, but they were still in there. They made something terrible into something dope. And I got hyped.
I
When I
wouldn't
heard it,
say
was like,
terrible.
and I thought she won when they first was
I mean,
saying
you're
it, and
right. I
she,
did. I thought she definitely had higher than sixth place. Let's say
I
that.
was like, oh, I was like, dang, she really went out there, natural runner. They was like
Absolutely.
sixth place. I was like, what? I feel like
Stevie
this
was
generation,
like, "Are we cheering for sixth place now?" Stevie was
right?
surprised. Stevie was like,
We don't hype that up these days. These
"We don't."
days, it's like you're the first or you last. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the energy. We need to bring back that no matter what place you get in, we supporting our people. Like what they say, that's my girl, I'm a stick by her. Right? Like that's my man, I'm a stick by her.
I'm gonna stick by that man. They do. They stick by their
We,
friends.
ha- we need to bring back that energy, yo. You know how many, like let's veer off for a second. You know how many like less breakups we would have in the world. You know what I mean? You know how many people can be lifted up, how many people are shot down because they don't know that they had that support system. You know what I mean? Like that they significant others or they boyfriend, they girlfriend, whatever, they girlfriend and girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be. They We're so big these days of boasting them to other people, but not to them,
Yeah.
right? And if we're not boasting our people to their face, them affirmations like, I got you, let's get it. You know how many more people we could have up, you know what I mean, on the bread, the money, you know what I mean, more ideas put out there and thrown against the wall. You know what I'm saying? I think her people did that. Her people, they boasted her so much that she didn't really want to quit, even though she hated it.
Right. This is true.
I
Well,
need that.
it was a team too, though. It was a team. When she
Yeah.
sat down and she finally came to a place and she was like, you know what, like I'm just not good at this. She had somebody else on her team that I don't feel like was in her friend circle that still supported her and going forward. Everybody did that.
I
Even
thought I thought he was trying to get his Mac on at first.
I
I
thought
thought he
it
was really trying to like get her like that. And until they sat down on the steps. The first time when he walked in, I felt like he was trying to game her, right? Because they kind of gave that. Oh, you won them races. And he's like, you know, you just left your stuff. So I got your back type joint. And then it was more when they sat on the steps.
yeah.
They was like, she was like, why you stick with it? Because the girl told me she loved it. You know what I mean? Like, so that
I like that
established the
though.
friendship
Yeah.
that established the friendship. Like, I'm not trying to game you. I'm telling you real. A lady told me that she loved track, so I stuck with track.
Yeah.
Right. And how they took a piece of the coach's clothes and ripped it up. That was their sense of I can't stand you. You know what I mean? I believe that. I believe the people that you dislike at the moment are the people that will jump you over that finish line to be the greatest. That like I remember like the teachers, some of the teachers I didn't like, I learned the most from them.
Is that right?
That hard teacher, that teacher
Mhm.
that ain't take no mess. My papers were immaculate for those teachers. You know what I mean? And I don't know why but I don't know why we do our good people like that. Like our good people, we ain't trying to learn nothing. Like it be to be like, I can't stand Mrs. Jones, right?
But you can get
But
her.
I learned so I got good grades in there. I became like a person that could really write from her writing class. You know, like
Is it her real name?
yeah, that's her name. That's her real name, Miss Jones. That's
Okay.
like middle school, right?
I love that.
It's a thing. My drum instructor, he was hard. You know what I mean? In high school,
How is he
it was
hard as a drum instructor? And he just
like
took
he didn't play no games. Like you couldn't make any. I remember one time I was just tapping on my little harness, my little drum harness in high school. I'm like thinking nothing of it. He's talking to the band. I'm not thinking nothing. I'm just tapping. He threw a pin across a parking lot. I'm talking about through that bad boy. And that thing hit me right in the center of my harness. and he was in the middle of cursing me square out. And then you could tell, you know how somebody's so mad that they start laughing? Like, this boy, you lucky, right? That was how mad he was. But he was so harsh, he pushed excellence that I became a great percussionist. Like I was able to move on to be like a really, really good percussionist. And it was based on him and then me moving into another great percussion instructor, Mr. Moore. Like they didn't take no mess. Like it was like Mr. Moore tell me all the time, shut up, do your work. Like teachers will complain, go to class. I don't want to hear nothing. He was like my dad in college. Like I was like, boy, who are you talking to? But he was really real about it. Those are the people that push you to be your better self. They're not gentle parenting you. I don't want no gentle parent teacher.
I was the hard teacher. People did not like me.
Right.
People did not want me. But by the end of the year, my kids loved me. They loved me. I ain't playing no games. You was gonna be on time. You was gonna do your work. You was gonna try. I didn't accept no cussing, no disrespect. I was a very difficult teacher, they thought. But I wanted them to succeed. I wanted them to pass. I wanted them to learn, and I wanted them to appreciate math. I didn't expect everyone to love it, but I did expect them to appreciate it when they got done.
See, but they
That's all.
appreciate you more when they go against somebody and they eat them up, right? When they're able to join in those conversations. You was a math teacher, right?
Yes.
So like for you to like they appreciate you more when people are having that conversation, somebody don't know, and then they give them the answer. Like, oh no, no, this is what we learned in class. Like boom, 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 boom. We're like, oh, I do know. Oh, I do know that. Like when I was a music teacher for middle school, elementary school, I really like pushed my kids to really learn. And I realized that by like the fourth grade, they're reading music. The average student not even advanced till sixth grade. So the fact that I'm teaching these fourth graders, these fifth graders to really like play instruments and all that stuff like that, they was able to stay in the room with musicians and have music conversations. You know what I mean? And even when I wasn't a teacher no more, they was calling me like, Mr. Andrews, what's my instrument? Like, I'm not your teacher anymore, so I don't know. But I'm glad that you still are pushing to be great. You know what I mean? And I think Denise is, Mr. Huxtable himself, he was like really pushing. Do you realize um we don't see anybody but Mr. Huxtable and Rudy.
I'm
We
gonna,
haven't seen anybody.
yes. I'm sure everyone's gonna make an appearance at some point, right?
I hope so because I realized we ain't seen Theo. We
I
ain't
think
seen
it
Mrs.
definitely comes.
Huxtable.
Theo comes at some point, but I want to see her mom. I want to see Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, we haven't seen mom. Like it's like I
I
be
mean,
looking for it too. Why is he the only? Is he the only person that answers the phone in the house?
he's the producer, so they ain't paying him. He not double dipping. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay them other
Right.
people.
He's like, is he the only? Like I'm like, are you the only character they can afford right now? Like, what's happening? You know what I mean? But
You know,
he's always. I love. My dad was encouraging. He's always encouraging. My dad was a character, so he's always like, I love
I'm
that. I
so
love the fact that
happy
he's
for
talking.
her, and I like that a lot.
And I say that with my daughter. When she called me, I'd be like, "Do you want money? All right. What do you want? How's your day?" So she say, "No. All right.
You
Okay.
start off,
How
do
was
you
your?"
want money?
Like
That's what
she
you
called.
said.
Like yeah. She's like, Dad. Wait a minute. Before you ask, is this about money? Is this? Did you break something? Did you get in a fight? She's like, no. How was your day, baby girl? How's everything? You know.
Baby girl. I used to think that with my college kid. I do have to ask her, do you want money? But now we talk so much that it's not even a thing. So whenever I want to talk to her about something serious, I'll say, so hey baby, no matter what we're doing, middle of the conversation, I'm like, so baby, shut up, mommy. What is it? What did I do? What's wrong? So she knows my tone goes nicer when I have something important to say to her. That's kind of what I do.
Mm, I'll be
Yeah.
straightforward when it's terrible. It's terrible. I rip the band-aid off. But I do believe that in some instances, like Denise, she's a part of a generation that holds it in until she's like ultimately comfortable. She's not gonna rip the band-aid off. She's gonna like torture herself until she's comfortable with that one person and just kind of be like, this ain't it. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be like that kind of thing.
Right.
So, but I feel like most people do that, and it's not healthy. These days, it's like people encourage you, like, say it, say it, say it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Hurt their feelings. It doesn't matter. But back then, it was like people like, nah, I ain't even gonna dis like. I think but the pressure to prove yourself, right? I
Mhm.
think it's like you don't want to let anybody down, so you don't let them know what's weighing on you. They like hold it back then. I think the generations are different. You know what I mean?
What do you think is better? Do you think that they should, I don't think that we should have word vomit. Do you think they should just say everything they're feeling? Do you think they should process it by themselves? What do you think is which way is right? Is there a right or wrong?
Probably isn't a right or wrong, but hold that. That's my thoughts. Hold it. Hold it. It'll make you stronger in the long run because the mortgage people don't want to know your feelings because you ain't got the mortgage, right? Your job, they don't want to know that it's just too difficult. Hold that so that find a way, so that find a way or make one is in you. It's innate. You're like, I'm gonna make sure that this happens. I'm gonna accomplish the goal. If we're always going off of feelings, and then that's how you get an environment of quitters. You know what I mean? Environment, this is so hard. That's probably how you feeling. Everybody feels like the weight is too heavy until they bench press that weight. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks exercising is terrible until they get past the sore stage. You know what I mean? I think the feelings is the sore stage. Keep pushing. Hold it in till you can get past the storm. Don't wait in the storm and talk about it. Get past the storm and talk about how bad the storm was when you're already past it and accomplish your goals. You know what I
So for
mean?
this episode, though, had she not shared that she was struggling, I don't think she would have made it through the storm. Had she kept
Yeah,
like,
the thing was she pushed and she pushed. Like she didn't wait for that first hard practice to be like, oh, this ain't it. It was more like she waited till there was a moment of sitting down and her just having it was like a segue. You know what I mean? They were talking or whatever, and then she was like, "Yeah, he was like, man, you doing really good, man. I don't know. It was
that's
cool, but
not
I
what
don't think I can
happened.
keep
She
this
didn't
going."
volunteer the information. He was talking to her, and she's like, yeah, yeah. And
Right.
he
It was
probed
it was
her for an answer. There
it was
wasn't
like a
into it.
But that's what I mean. It was more like a segue. It wasn't like she just volunteered it and threw it out. It was more like, that's cool and all, but he like, what's up? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm
But if
not
she
like you.
said that, I don't know if she would have pushed through. She just would have quit in silence.
I don't think she would have quit. I think she would just been tortured. I think she just would have been hurting because she kept saying she doesn't know if she can do it, but she wasn't quitting. She said that the first day. She like practice. She was like, wait a minute, we got to keep doing this. You know what I mean? But
Right.
she got up in the morning because she watched Whitley do yoga
Mm-hmm.
and
Was that
then
before the try team? I was
she was
waiting
doing
for
no
you.
she got up early to she got up early to go to track practice.
Okay, she was headed. Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she
She was
was
headed.
doing and
Yeah.
she was doing the yoga, right? And she was like, you got to stay flexible. And I was watching the episode like, girl, you got to stay flexible, right? Even though she's so much older than me. Like, you know what I mean? But I took myself back. I felt like Dwayne Wayne in that instance, like, girl, right? But
It was a
it
nice
was
segue though.
definitely
I didn't see that coming.
even
So go ahead.
even Denise did that. Even Denise was watching her like, sheesh, right?
She was watching
She on her
her,
way to
not the
practice.
way you was watching her, I'm sure. She was watching her like,
You
oh
don't
my God, she is doing the
you don't
most.
know.
Why is she in
You don't know
the
that.
She said, why are you in the lobby? She was not watching her in the same way you was watching her. I'm sure you
Why are
wasn't.
you in the lobby doing yoga? She's like, you gotta stay flexible. And I was like, I
Honestly, she
agree.
said, you want to get down to some yoga. She was inspiring. She was very
She was
flexible.
in Stay flexible. Stay true to you. Stay
That's not my
flexible.
line for the day, but that's a good little nugget. That's a good little nugget.
Yeah,
Stay flexible.
stay
Okay,
flexible. I think
so go ahead. You're real
I feel like
talking
you
to.
stay
I like
flexible.
it.
Stay flexible in all parts of life. I think you should just stay flexible. You know,
Mhm. In all parts of life, you said?
in all parts of life. You try new things. Don't go in with the expectation of it's hard, so I'm gonna quit. Stay flexible. Like, hey man, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? It might not be the best thing right now, but it's gonna get better. You know what I mean? Be able to be open to things that you're doing. New jobs. New jobs are always gonna start out hard. You
I
know what I
think
mean?
everything should have some time. Um,
I think to appreciate it, the struggle is necessary a little bit. Now, not struggling where you sleep in your car, but I think a little bit of struggle teaches you that you're learning something,
I took in my car
right?
for a little bit in college. I don't know if I ever
Yeah,
told you
I ain't do
that. I did. I mean, I had
I
nowhere to go. Slept in my car just for a little
go
bit.
home,
Eventually,
get
I did.
that, turn around.
I mean, I
18
do.
hours, 10 hours, go back to my parents' house. I'm not sleeping in the white car. What's wrong with you?
That's what's up. I'm
Go
glad
ahead.
you had parents that you can go to.
I don't know. Heat didn't work. I would have been hurting.
It's a blessing. It was cold. It was January, so it was cold. And me and my kid, we both slept in the car. We made it work.
My car was so old that it was just like, nah, sleeping in here ain't it.
I had a
I would have
Chevy
been better
Metro.
off.
I slept in the
You
parking
said
decks.
what?
I had a Chevy Metro. I slept in the parking decks in the middle of the parking deck so the wind wasn't coming to us as hard. I took a shower on campus. There was one building that had a shower at the top. I took showers on campus, took her to daycare, brushed my teeth in the shower, did all the things. I slept in my car for a minute. Eventually, I found someone that I could crash with for a little while, but slept in my car. I'm not a
Yeah,
quitter. I
that's
made I made it work as long as I needed to.
look where you at now though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, you appreciate the things that you have now because you know where it could go. But I know there were times where it was like, man, I don't know where I'm gonna stay at, so I'm not going. I need to know. You know what I mean? I need to know that I have somebody there. So if something doesn't work out, I can kind of slide on something because I can't. Nah, I'm not doing that.
I got people. So people who are listening, if you don't have people, I mean, find your village, reach out, lean on your community. I don't think it's weakness. If, you fall down hard in times, just, like Ray saying, get up, keep going, find another avenue. If something doesn't work, try something different. That's not the end of my
Now,
story. I didn't stay in my car.
right. And I do want to say this, right? Leaning on people does not mean that you don't get up and handle your business, right? Because there's some people that lean on somebody and never get off the couch. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That is a reset. When you have to go back home, it's a reset. When you have to sleep on your friend's couch, that's a reset. You know what I mean? You have to keep that fire. You have to keep that motivation. You have to be like, look, this is not forever and I'm about to get up and I'm about to get to it. You know what I mean? Kind of like just like with Denise. It was like when she realized that it's not just me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just hard because I feel it's hard. Everybody feels it's hard. So I'm about to get up and I'm about to get to it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna keep pushing because I know it's not just me and I'm not alone in this. And that's what your friends are for. When you lean on your village, it's like your village is saying, I got you. Come rock with us for a little while, but not forever. Like, don't be a burden. Be somebody that's down on hard times and gonna get up.
Yeah.
And like most people will be your village if they actively see you rocking out. It might not work out the first two times, but they actively see you getting to it, getting at it. Your village will support you. You know what I mean? It's when you're on a couch sitting in your sorrows and it's like, did you go job hunting today? I just can't. It's not. Get out. Get out. You ain't even trying. Get out. You know,
Immediately.
this is how you
Goodbye.
do. Get out. You know what I
I mean, if
mean?
I gotta work, everybody gotta work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got
Work or you need to be in somebody's school. Those are the two things. Work or be in somebody's school.
That's how I feel about my kids. My kids gotta be at work or in college. They can't just be sleeping in room
Can't
grass.
be just
No, I'm good.
we not doing it in the basement
Find a
video. Now you
trade.
know it's a big thing. I wish I would have known about all that Twitch stuff and the people get paid to play video games. If I would have known that before it was popping, I would have been on that. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there really boiling out of control because they 2K character got, you know what I mean, V Bucks or whatever they call that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
watch
I'm like,
people do Twitch too. They do coding on there. They be
I need
talking. I
to
like it. Oh, you
find
remember
me
during
some.
the pandemic, there was that some type of app that you can get on and just talk to people? They
Yeah, I
like invite
heard.
you up on the stage. You never joined.
Oh,
You can get paid to
nah,
do anything these days. These kids got it made. It was a lot harder when we were coming up to try to find a gig and a career. It was a struggle, but we're here now. Anything else you want to add before homework?
man. No, I think we are really good, man. We got to see Sinbad again. He's starting to show himself regularly. You know, we still have not seen Ron regularly yet, right? I'm waiting for that to pop
Is
off.
he your
But
favorite character?
we haven't gotten we haven't gotten out of the dorm a lot.
We
You
haven't
know, to
got
be honest,
we've seen like two classrooms, maybe. We haven't even been back to
yeah,
the
classrooms, the cafeteria.
we haven't been back to the cafeteria though. When last time was in the cafeteria?
We were in the cafeteria for homecoming. That's what Grandpa was talking to Dwayne Wayne.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
right
so
outside the
we got
cafeteria.
in. That and that was like to be honest, that I don't know what angle of the cafeteria that was because sometimes when you look in there, the door is to the left, but that episode the door was to the right. Like it was a little different. Like go
He was
back and look at those
outside.
little.
He was outside the cafeteria. Remember that when Maggie got proposed to? That was that little opening right before you go in to the cafeteria. They were sitting
That's where
outside.
he was sitting at eating the food.
Yeah. hmm
I gotta go back and look at that. I gotta go back and look. Okay,
It's
cafeteria
worth
is bigger
it.
than
A
we thought. Okay,
rewind. It's worth it. Go rewind and see
right. That's what we
what you're
gotta
talking about.
rewind, rewind. Um, No, I think that's pretty much the gist of what we rocking with this episode. Like I think that's all of it, man. The moral of the story, man, is stick with it, man, but also you know, don't feed into your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like don't feed into your negative thoughts. Stick with it, keep pushing through it. You know what I mean? Push through the storm. That's my message for the people. Push through the storm. You know what
Okay,
I
so that
mean?
brings us to the homework, the Hillman homework, right? So we talk
Okay.
about pushing through and all that good stuff, right? What is something that you tried in school or even like recently in your adult life? Something that you tried and you surprised yourself. Did you win? Did you learn a lesson? Maybe a little bit of both. Share something with us, a lesson that you learned, an experience that you had where you just stepped out of your comfort zone. Like people want to know, people want to be inspired, people want to know what you did so they can know that this is not the end of their story, right? So I think this podcast is an example of us adult life, just stepping out on faith. We got to get our social media up, but we've been consistent. You know what I'm saying? We've been consistent since what,
We
February?
rock.
That's when we started. We're eight
We
episodes
rock.
in,
Yo, this is really legit. This is
right?
episode. We at it. We not going nowhere. We rocking out. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And we're taking chances and we're enjoying it while we're doing it. Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm enjoying it. I'm learning lessons. I have fun. I know that every week I get at least 1 hour with my brother to talk about nothing.
Right.
And I think it's working on
We're
that public
doing it, right?
speaking. Yeah, we're doing it. We are doing this thing. We're
That's
gonna have
real.
some
That's real.
t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some live events, got some announcements coming.
Right.
Things are rocking. Okay, so before I
Right.
leave,
So Peter,
go ahead.
what you got to hit us with a quote?
I'm about to hit you with a quote. About to hit you with a quote. All right, so we
Okay.
know we keep saying that, you just should keep trying, right? So in the episode at the very end, Denise is sitting outside her dorm and she says, I don't know if I can take all this hard work. Those are her exact words. So she was feeling kind of low. She wasn't feeling motivated. She didn't have any confidence in herself. And we talked about the importance of a village. Her friend was like, you can do this. We all want to quit, but we start every day. We get up, we hang out as a team, and we make this work, right? So I don't know if I could do all this hard work. You never know how strong you can be. You never know what you're capable of if you don't try. So the whole thing we've been saying about sticking to it, just try, put your best foot forward and see what happens. I'm not saying that everything's gonna work out, everything's gonna be successful, but put your foot out there and then just do the best that you can. That's my quote.
Okay. Okay, I rock with that. Okay, so my song, right, is we're pushing out of the 80s a little bit. I jumped into the 90s, right? This song is 1995. Um Montel Jordan, this is how we do it, right? And what made me feel about this song was uh Mr. Huxtable saying like you're in a long legacy of Huxtables. This is what we do. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Get a nickname, rock out, do your thing. You know what I mean? And Denise is like, man, I'm on it. Like this is how we do it as Huxtables, right? So that's my thing. That's check the song out. It's still a hit to this day. We still bump it in the parties. This is how we do it, Montel Jordan.
Got it, got it, got it. I like that. It's a hot song. Very popular song. I love it. I love it. I think this is a real good episode. I hope that it inspires someone. I hope that you feel, strong about whatever you're stepping out on faith on and stepping out your comfort zone. So before we leave, remember words have power. So make your words count.
Man, and like a good beat, man. Keep the vibe going and let the music play.